for Josh Wise. Unfortunately, it will end early for the driver of the Aaron's Toyota. Rick?
Thanks, sir. Field now working their way through 4, and Randy Kaiser will take that pace truck down onto pit road. Field back in the hands of Ron Hornaday. Kyle Busch running second. Top of line, Mark Martin. Ted Musgrave, your top 5.
All clear, all rolling here.
Look at Kyle jump to the outside of that 33 truck. Now, tell me somebody's not going to pass Hornaday on the outside.
Start Ron Hornaday. Well, Kyle Busch is trying to do it right now.
I think somebody that's got to be pretty confident with their truck right now, Phil, is that 4th place truck of Mark Martin. He only got the 2 tires, but he's the one cat that was able to stay up front with the 2 tires.
Yeah, Mike Skinner was dropping back. He dropped back to the 6th spot, so he came in onto pit road and got those left side tires. But Kyle Busch is going to be able to make that pass stick, and Ron Hornaday got passed on a restart.
I'm going to write that down.
Might be the first time we've seen that in, well, ever.
There's that 5 truck of Mike Skinner. Remember, he has fresh left side tires. He's going to go by the 15 of Shane Sieg. There's a 07 of Tim Sauter.
This is some tense times, though, right now for this truck, Phil. He wants to make sure, has to watch ahead, make sure another accident like what occurred on the last restart doesn't happen again.
A lot of trucks he's behind. There's the 4 of Ryan Matthews.
Take a look at the points as they run right now. Hornaday back on top. Remember, Skinner led by 11 when we came in. Hornaday back on top by 41 now. Oh, 38. That changes that quickly.
He's got a lot of trucks between he and the front of this pack, though.
He's running in the 13th, 14th position right now, but he has a lot of lap trucks in addition to all the trucks that are on the lead lap. So he does have a lot of traffic. You see him move up. Top side of the racetrack, there's a 9 of Ted Musgrave. Ted's being shown in the 6th position. There's a 09. Going to try to pass Ted for that position.
Joey Clanton in the 09. Trying to get on the inside of Ted Musgrave. Musgrave able to stay in front.
Looks like Joey got a little bit loose down there in the inside. There's 3 wide racing. Mike Skinner on the inside. There's Eric Darnell, the 99.
How about the fact that we're seeing trucks go by Mike Skinner on the outside right now?
Well, he just got in a bind there.
Momentary.
Yeah, Rick, he just got in a little bit of a hole. Look at him go right back by now. He lost his momentum. And, you know, here at Atlanta, momentum is everything.
See that 1 truck of Brandon Wood had a little bit of momentum. That's why he's able to drive back by that 5 truck on the outside. You see Mike drive up beside him again on the inside. Mike's going to be able to clear that 1 truck, move on up the racetrack, and he will get that position.
Get nose to tail as they go down the backstretch now. Tony, what is Joey Clanton saying about that truck?
Well, how about the run that Joey Clanton is having here this afternoon? He started 29th. He's made his way into the top 10. I had a chance to talk to his crew chief, Gary Cogswell. He said the truck is perfect and that Joey's very happy with it. They've made no changes other than just a very small air pressure adjustment.
2 and 3 wide once again. Brendan Gaughan running right along the outside of this racetrack. In front of him, Eric Darnell trying to get by that Ginn Chevrolet of Regan Smith.
That's Dennis Setzer right there watching out of his Fastenal Dodge on board. Eric gets caught in the middle a little bit. Brendan's going to go by on the outside. Dennis is going to go by on the inside. Eric is one of the trucks that is being shown 1 lap down. The 77 of Brendan Gaughan and the 18 of Dennis Setzer are still on the lead lap.
22 trucks still on the lead lap. Running 22nd right now. It's Willie Allen. In that number 13, we talked about how good Joey Clanton is doing. Well, Willie Allen currently coming into this was leading Rookie of the Year points. That could change today as Joey Clanton's running very well as compared to Willie Allen.
Yeah, I think Joey's far enough behind because, as Michael talked about earlier, he hasn't run enough races to count them all yet. So I don't think Joey Clanton can probably pass Will Allen, but he can sure gain a lot of ground on him here at Atlanta.
They're running all over the racetrack, on the bottom of the racetrack, in the middle, and at the high side. They're all chasing this truck. The 51 of Kyle Busch. Can Kyle Busch win again at this racetrack? We're going to find out.
Here's some radical thinking. If you want it,
Go get it. Like the Craftsman Locking Flex Ratcheting Wrench Set. For fast work in tight spots, nothing's better. Or how about the Craftsman Cross Force Combination Wrench Set? The handle is turned 90 degrees for comfort. And to put everything in its place, try the Craftsman Quiet Glide Storage Chest. Drawers open smooth and easy. Innovation from Craftsman. Official tools of NASCAR. Get it at Sears.
Your car, truck, motorcycle, just about any internal combustion engine vehicle save gas and last longer with C-Max. C-Max goes to work to reduce heat and friction, dissipate harmful carbon buildup, restore power, reduce fuel consumption, and help your car to run better, longer. Log on to cmax.com to find a C-Max performance partner near you. C-Max. Performance you can feel.
Every day, workers across America cover our good name with dirt, dust, paint, oil, grease, and mud. And you know what? We're fine with that. Dickies, a legend in work.
Think back to the best beer you've ever had. Now, get ready to top it. Fresh Budweiser served on draft. No other beer is this fresh. And the taste, just as the brewmaster intended. Will it be your best beer ever? I say we find out. Budweiser, the great American lager.
Welcome back to Easy Care Vehicle Service Contracts 200 continuing from Atlanta Motor Speedway. And the gap is closed now between Kyle Busch and Ron Hornaday.
Look at Kyle get loose.
All over the back bumper of Kyle Busch. Hornaday looks as though he's going to take away the top spot. But Kyle Busch moving back on the high side.
Now, we heard Kyle Busch when we talked to him on his in-truck radio say that they need to do some work on the left front.
Nothing back here.
If that camber's gone away on the left front, if they need an adjustment there, that's why that truck can't stay good for as long as Ron Hornaday's. We saw Hornaday catch Kyle when the competition yellow flew at lap 30, and now he disposes of him and driving away.
And if it's a camber issue, that cannot be fixed on a pit stop. As Kyle said, that's something we're going to have to do back at the shop. So see Kyle move back up to the top of the racetrack. He had been running around the bottom of the racetrack, I think maybe to try to make that tire wear a little bit better. Now that he lost the lead to Ron Hornaday, he may be searching around a little bit to try to find a better groove. But just a few moments ago, one of the trucks that took two tires right there, that Bubba Burger Ford of Mark Martin, was able to get by that 30 truck of Todd Bodine. And that is big because that 21 truck only got two tires. There's a battle right there just a few moments ago, Michael.
Now, and this move is big, Phil, not because of what's happening right now. It has become big because he's able to maintain. He's able to keep pace with the leaders. But he's got extra tires for later in the race, and that'll be huge.
He'll have 4 tires that he can put on next time they come on to pit road. Adam Alexander.
And the other thing they've talked about on the radio, John Monson reminding him with that caution earlier, they've got 2 open pit stalls in front of and behind him. So a caution flag pit stop should be very quick for that 21 group. Top 10 in 4 of his last 7 Cup starts here at Atlanta. Mark Martin loves this place, and it's showing here today in the Truck Series.
Todd Bodine just lost a couple more positions to the 88 of Matt Crafton and the 23 of Johnny Benson. There's Matt Crafton right there. He just took over the 4th spot from that 30 truck of Todd Bodine. There's JB, Johnny Benson, and his Toyota running 5th right now.
How about the amazing job Johnny Benson has done? Johnny Benson actually came onto pit road a little bit quick on our first caution, and so they penalized him, but he's been able to battle back from that, and now he's running in the top 5.
He has a great race truck. You know, we talked to him earlier during our qualifying show. He changed everything from practice yesterday, had a good qualifying run, and then Johnny said, we really don't know what we're going to have for the race. I think he's got a pretty good piece.
I can't wait till Matt Crafton finally wins, because it's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
He's running in the top 5. Johnny Benson takes that spot away from him for the 4th spot. But Adam, JB has rebounded from a mistake on pit road.
Well, and how many times have we seen that this year, where this team will get behind the 8 ball, they will rally and find their way to victory lane. It happened earlier this year at St. Louis, twice on pit road. They had issues. Both times Johnny was able to drive back through the field. Today, a pit road speeding penalty puts him outside the top 15. And again, here he is surfacing in the top 5. And as Phil pointed out, they were not good in practice yesterday. They changed everything but the paint job on this truck this morning. And here he is, solid today. And attaboy to crew chief Trip Bruce. Tony?
Matt Crafton, another one of those drivers having a very nice day here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Crafton currently running 5th. His spotter's been letting him know where all the lead trucks are running, and Crafton's chosen to move up to the middle of the groove and even run the top. He said since he's moved up the groove a little bit, the truck has come to life. Adam?
Chad McCumbee started 19th today. He's rallied up to 8th. No pit strategy here. They took 4 tires when they came down pit road at lap 30. And this is the 2nd time in the last month at a mile-and-a-half racetrack that he's been successful. Here you see him driving to the inside and around Todd Bodine. That puts him into 6th place in the running order. They were in the top 5 in both practice sessions here yesterday. I thought this would be the Las Vegas truck where they finished 10th. Chad told me, no, this is a new truck. We feel like we can do even better. And he wasn't lying. They look great, guys.
Boy, don't you love just to bring out a new truck late in the season like this, when you know some people are probably, as we got a great battle between the 30 of Todd Bodine, the 6th of Travis Kvapil. That's a battle for the 7th position. But you know, you bring a new truck up late, you feel like a lot of people's stuff's tired, and you bring a brand new piece out like Chad McCumbee and his team's doing, and it's running extremely well.
We saw Mark Martin pass Todd Bodine for the 3rd spot just 5 or 6 laps ago. Just to tell you how competitive this race is, he's already dropped back to 8th now. 4 or 5 laps ago, he had the leaders in sight.
Yeah, he's going to want to get to pit road and let Mike Hillman Jr. make some adjustments on that Lumber Liquidators Toyota. And there's our leader, Ron Hornaday, has over a 1-second lead right now on the 2nd place truck of Kyle Busch.
So Hornaday looking to make it 2 wins at Atlanta as well. Ron Hornaday won back here in 2005. Can he make it 2? We'll find out.
The dream is still alive. Someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs to folks like me and you. So let the voice of freedom sing out through this land. This is our country.
Chevy Silverado. This is our truck.
Make some room. DirecTV's now pumping out over 70 of the best channels in HD. And soon up to 100. Get yours today.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Right now at Advance, all wiper blades are 25% off. And as always, we install them fast and free. Yeah, free.
Speed lives for two-wheel racing.
Absolutely fearless.
Motorcycle racing. Live it.
Dude, heard you got ESPN HD.
Hey, Bob. Mr. and Mrs. Silverman. Do you mind if we watch some Discovery HD Theater?
IOTV now delivers over 40 channels in HD with the best HD picture and sound anywhere.
I'm sorry. You got Golf Channel HD?
There are whispers you have Kung Fu HD.
Is this the house of Monsters HD?
The most New York sports and local channels you can get in HD.
You got the HBO and the HD.
And unlike satellite or phone company TV, HD is free with IO. Call 1-866-919-HD-TV because everything about HD is ridiculously better with IO.
Let me guess. National Geographic HD?
coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed is brought to you by the official tools of NASCAR, Craftsman, by Fastenal, we get it right, and by Just for Men. Stay in the game with Just for Men hair color.
Trucks beginning to slow down on the racetrack. Caution has come out once again. This one the third of the day. We're hearing debris on the racetrack bringing this most recent caution out.
Yeah, pretty opportune time for a lot of these guys. They pitted up back on lap number 32. Now we've run, about 35 laps, probably 34, 35 green flag laps. Another good time for a pit stop.
It's like Shane Sieg. He's going to get the Aaron's lucky dog. Is that right?
It looks like it. He's going to be really happy about that.
This will also put everyone into their window as far as they can make it to the end of the race.
And another interesting thing is what are these left side tires of Mark Martin and Skinner and some of these guys going to look like right now? Skinner changed left sides, but Mark's on those same lefts.
That's right. And he maintained a fourth position, so Mark will come in, as will everybody else, probably put 4 tires on. Mike Skinner was in along with a lot of other guys. There's Terry Cook. He's got a great run going. He's up into the 10th position. Just before the caution came out, he was able to get by that 09 truck of Joey Clanton.
We're hearing that NASCAR is going to allow the extra man over the wall. They have to ask for that. Teams will have to ask for that too.
And they do that every single race that I have ever known about. You always get an extra man sometime midway through the race, so you can take care of the driver, maybe tear a windshield, tear off, or give the driver a drink. But they never start with the extra man, but we always get it.
No,
Action's fixing to pick up on pit road, fellas. Here comes the leaders.
They come down onto pit road. Again, leading this race is Ron Hornaday. Kyle Busch running second. The field now coming down on pit road. Tony?
Matt Crafton making his way down pit road. He started off early in the run very loose, but after an air pressure adjustment and a track bar adjustment, he's turned to tight. He'll bring his number 88 Chevrolet down. They'll make a right side tire change. This has been a good track for Crafton in the back. He finished third here in the spring. 4 tire change for Matt Crafton down to Adam.
Kyle Buschmill, your screen said he can't drive it in as deep as Hornaday, so Richie Waters called for a chassis adjustment. He gets 4 tires and fuel. Hornaday, meanwhile, said, I'm as good as anybody on the racetrack. No changes is what crew chief Rick Wren called for. 4 tires, fuel, and it's going to be Kyle Busch winning the battle off the pit road. Johnny Benson second at lap 81.
Seemed like a long stop for Ron Hornaday there. Lost a couple spots on pit road.
Yeah, had a little bit of trouble there. It looked like 4 tires for just about everybody. All the trucks running up front got 4 tires on this pit stop.
Kyle Busch with a good stop on pit road. He looks as though he will restart this one in front of the field.
This is the final vault for Stefan Beletsky.
Father and coach Usten Beletsky looking on. Whoa.
I've never seen a springboard break like that.
There will be a deduction on the landing.
I'd hate to be responsible for that.
Not the official tools of gymnastics. The official tools of NASCAR. Craftsman at Sears.
Hey, do you have a truck I can borrow?
Why?
I gotta help a buddy move.
Well, you better get a big vehicle.
Can I borrow the blimp?
Sure.
Really?
No.
For trucks and SUVs, there's Silent Armor technology with Kevlar at your Goodyear retailer. Now get up to a $40 cash card by mail-in offer with the purchase of 4 select Goodyear tires. Or double your cash card up to $80 when purchased on your Goodyear credit card.
Change the oil.
Nope.
Get you a new seat cover.
No.
Goodyear. Get there.
Fans are always looking for a better seat, so we built it.
He'll be fine. Yep.
The NASCAR.com Superstore is your home for the largest selection of officially licensed NASCAR driver gear. Log on now and check out the hottest new fall fashions in both men's and women's apparel, like a Tony Stewart hooded sweatshirt, a pair of Jeff Gordon ladies pants, or a Jimmy Johnson ladies full zip hoodie. And be sure to check out the brand new line of Dale Jr. 88 gear. The NASCAR.com Superstore has everything you need to support your favorite drivers.
NASCAR.com, your home for everything NASCAR.
The bright lights of Vegas.
It's a great experience.
The thrill of NASCAR. A pair that can't lose. NASCAR. Vegas, baby. The fastest weekend of the season. In the most exciting city in the world. Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Once, twice, 3 times.
Let it roll. With NASCAR's top stars in Vegas. Call 800-644-4444.
All Truck Series fans remember the first time we came to Atlanta back in 2004. Bobby Hamilton on the outside. Skinner slides as they go across the start-finish line. Hamilton wins the first race at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Truck Series.
Ruderman set on the pole for Toyota's first pole, and Skinner came within a little bit of winning the race.
The sad thing that has transpired since that win, obviously we have lost Bobby Hamilton to cancer. It was actually neck cancer that got Bobby, and now in the area this weekend they have been doing head and neck cancer screenings here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, the Yul Brynner Head and Neck Cancer Foundation along with Atlanta Motor Speedway has provided this opportunity for whoever wanted to be screened. They did it in the garage area just outside the media center yesterday. Now they've had 4, 5, 6 booths set up outside in the grandstand. So I was one that took advantage of that, and I sure appreciate them being here.
They're taking care of the fans. Now the fans are able to enjoy another great race here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch in front of Johnny Benson.
Like you said, Rick, these guys don't have to come back to pit road anymore. But if the caution falls with about 20 to go, I'd say they will.
Yeah, we've got 45 laps to go right now, or we will have 45 laps to go next time they get to start-finish line, and that's, that is a little bit farther than they've had to run. We saw the cords on some of the tires on that first pit stop. We saw them again as it was a little tight racing up through next to the wall there.
Yeah, that was Terry Cook in that 59, got all the way up against the wall in his Jim Harris Toyota Tundra.
Ron Hornaday is going to lead a train by the 21 of Mark Martin. He's going to bring the 88 of Matt Crafton and the 8 of Chad McCumbee with him.
Mark had a rough turn 3 and 4 there. He got down on the inside, got a little sideways, and they just drove around and freight trained him. Chad McCumbee continues to impress. What a great run for this team in that brand new truck.
Our fast and all fast start here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Joey Clanton started this race 29th, currently running in the 9th spot, so up into the top 10. A great start for Joey Clanton. Let's see if he can finish it off today here at Atlanta.
Yeah, that's the 8th place truck right in front of him. That's Ty Bodine, that 30 truck.
Now this is when Mike Skinner really needs those guys down in the pit to make him some good adjustment. His truck isn't as good as Hornaday's today. Last week we saw Hornaday minimize the loss by driving his heart out in the last 4 or 5 laps. Skinner now has to go into that mode and say, I got to get all I can get. Ron's got a better truck. I can't let him be too far ahead of me when the checkered flag falls.
Yeah, they're all back in sync right now because Mike Skinner got his 4 tires at the same time. Adam, what's going on with that 33 truck of Ron Hornaday?
And Ron Hornaday, guys, we talked on that last pit stop about the fact that he went from the lead to 4th, and the issue was Hornaday stopped just a little bit short in his stall, and that threw the timing off of the crew. So Rick Wren reminded him in case there is a late race pit stop where he needs to be. But despite the fact they've had a little bit of adversity here after leading, this team has stayed cool and calm, and you can see on the racetrack Hornaday back to 3rd, and he's gone to work trying to chase down Busch and Benson at the front.
Mike Skinner's not been happy with his truck, so he's looking for a little help from his teammates, which we just heard over his radio communication.
What we do here, we go another one on the track bar. Yeah, we're good to go there. We did a little less on air pressure like the 23's got. Let's see what happens. If not, we'll go back to what we had. But according to the data, that's going to help it off the corner. Off the corner drive is what we're looking for here. So this should be a little bit better. We'll see what happens.
That's one advantage.
Teammates helping Mike Skinner. They go with the air pressure of Johnny Benson. Hopefully that'll bring his Toyota Tundra alive. Rick?
Yeah, and obviously Johnny Benson running 2nd right now. They would love to emulate that setup.
Well, and Johnny Benson, we're getting reports from the pit that Hornaday and Kyle Busch have both said Johnny Benson's got the truck today. He's fast. What needs to happen, like I said a minute ago, he needs some help from not only his pit crew guys and the guys down there making the adjustment, but also he wants to know what Benson's doing. He's got a fast truck. Hopefully they can parlay that information into improving that truck over the last 40 laps.
That was a great corner that time for that 51 of Kyle Busch. Johnny was right up on his rear bumper. Kyle was able to gain about 5-6 truck lengths that time on Johnny Benson.
Kyle Busch, Johnny Benson 1 and 2. Last time by the start-finish line, it was just 0.2 of a second separating the two. It's a half a second now.
The Ford F-150 has massive lower front control arms and rear shock absorbers mounted outside the frame rails, giving it the highest available payload in its class. And giving you unbelievable handling and control. Now that's forward thinking.
One day, it hits you. Your hair is gray, and you wonder, do people see what I've got? Or not? How do you stop that?
Just for Men targets only the gray in 5 easy minutes.
Now, I wonder, why did I ever put up with gray hair?
Show them what you've got. Stay in the game with Just for Men.
Sunday, NASCAR race day on Speed.
This is about beating and banging.
Atlantis heating up the chase.
They need Jeff Gordon to have a bad day.
With Boyer quietly on the prowl.
We just got to be better. Did you just hear that?
And the gap between Gordon and Johnson closing.
They will be racing tough today.
How long can the buddy show last?
Well, we were just talking about that. Get it on, man.
NASCAR race day built by the Home Depot live from Atlanta. Sunday, 12 Eastern. NASCAR on Speed. It's huge.
There may be thousands of new and used cars on Optimum Autos, but there's one you just can't get off your mind.
Just kidding, honey.
IO Channel 605 and online at OptimumAutos.com.
Welcome to Zap Loop and Zap Car Wash on Route 4 East in Fairlawn. 10 minutes is all it takes for a Zap Loop oil change and a 13-point service check. Our state-of-the-art equipment and trained technicians will have your car running smooth. We proudly feature Castrol Motor Oil. After your Zap Loop, drive in for a Zap Car Wash. Keep your car looking brand new. Zap Loop and Zap Car Wash on Route 4 East in Fairlawn.
Aerial coverage provided to you by Goodyear. For track-tested technology, get there on Goodyear Innovation. Do they have tires on the Goodyear blimp?
It's got to land somehow.
Yeah, they got to set it down somewhere.
It's got Krista.
And it's got Krista driving it. Well, race day fans, we're looking for your photos. Show us your colors of speed for a chance to see yourself on race day. We will select the best photo and show it on air. It's all part of My Race Day. Upload your photos to speedtv.com. Keyword My Race Day. While we were taking a look from up above, it was Johnny Benson who made the move on Kyle Busch and was able to get in front of this field now. So Johnny Benson leading here at Atlanta. Kyle Busch has dropped to second. Hornaday, Martin, and Crafton rounding out our top 5.
Talk about two distinctly different lines. Check this out.
See, Kyle's going to slide up the racetrack. We got a little bit loose, a little bit of a wiggle that allowed Johnny to get underneath him. He beats him to the start-finish line, and now he's opened up about a 7/10 of a second lead on Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch was running the top, and when Johnny got there, he said, "I'll try it down low." And when he pinched that thing down, it about spun out with him. Johnny drove around him.
So Johnny Benson in front of the field. Remember, our points leader coming in decided, hey, we'd like to get that same setup that's out in front of this field. So Skinner on the move as well.
Every day, workers across America cover our good name with dirt, dust, paint, oil, grease, and mud. And you know what? We're fine with that. Dickies, a legend in work.
Whatever steps you're taking to impress your partner, don't let erectile dysfunction get in the way. Viagra, America's most prescribed ED treatment, can help you enjoy a more satisfying sexual experience. To learn more, take a spin around Viagra.com. Ask your doctor if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Don't take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease in vision or hearing. Now's the time to take the lead. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Next Saturday night, the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. Hold on to your wing! And late models. What a battle we've got here. Back to back. 3 hours of live coverage from Charlotte begins next Saturday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on...
Welcome back. New leader in front of this field. It's Ron Hornaday has taken the top spot away from Johnny Benson. Hornaday looks to the inside of Benson as they go through the turn. Hornaday able to hold it on the bottom.
Just flat beat him through the center of the corner. Ron was able to keep more throttle down. Johnny stayed on the bottom of the racetrack, but Ron had such a head of steam. They got off the corner. Ron just drove by on the inside.
Adam Alexander.
Talk about a team that brought their A game today, winning the pole. They've not made an adjustment in the 2 stops since they've come down pit road, and Ron Hornaday leading with 26 laps to go. He's been solid. Then there's Johnny Benson on the radio. He said the truck has gone tight for some reason. First time I've experienced that today. And how about this late race rally? Mark Martin trying to come to the front, and we understand now the black flag is coming out for Kyle Busch. We heard a report from Ron Hornaday's radio that his window net was flapping. We understand that he is holding it up, and so the black flag has been displayed for Kyle Busch. It appears he will not be able to repeat a victory today here at Atlanta.
Adam, we've got a great view of that. The window net actually came down at the very back, and that's why Jack Sprague has made some contact. It looks like with something, maybe the inside wall. No caution flag yet.
Jack Sprague into the wall. Let's see if any debris has come out on the racetrack. Doesn't look like it, but now they're reaching for the caution flag, and it will come out. Unbelievable for Kyle Busch.
What an incredible break for Kyle Busch. He was driving one-handed, and that's why he was losing some positions. He had fallen back to the 4th spot. He was holding that window net up, going to try to make it all the way to the end, but what a great break for Kyle Busch in that 51 truck.
And Johnny Benson had driven back around Hornaday.
Let's get a look at how Kyle Busch was having to drive that truck, Michael. See him right here. He's trying to get that thing, and see it's down at the very bottom. It's completely down right now. Kyle is holding that thing up. Hopefully NASCAR wasn't going to see that, and that's why he was doing that. But that's why he lost the lead, lost all the way back to the 4th position.
We kind of needed this caution. There was a lot of stuff going on. Sprague gets loose off turn 2 and hits the inside wall.
He got run into by the 9 of Ted Musgrave. He might have got loose a little bit in front of Ted Musgrave. Ted actually got him a little bit sideways, and that sent him into the inside. Well, there's another view. Jack comes up the hill. Ted had a lot of momentum. They make contact right there. Jack's going to make some contact with the inside safer barrier. And that brought out a caution, a well-timed caution flag. Here's another view right here.
Here he lifted his back tires up off the ground. They got to spinning, and it was...
That's a deal. When you know that truck is coming on the outside, he's got a lot more momentum. You can't just pull up in front of somebody like that, and that's what happened. Ted Musgrave had a head of steam there. He made contact and sent Jack into the inside wall.
These guys will all come to pit road now, I think, Phil. This could be a...
On pit road now, Johnny Benson, Ron Hornaday. We're not really sure why Johnny Benson is in front of Hornaday, because it was very close when they came back. Let's go down pit road, Tony Rizzuti.
This caution was a good break for Matt Crafton, who said, I came close to wrecking off at turn 2. The truck has got extremely loose. They'll make a right side tire change. They have the left side tires up on the wall. It'll be a 4-tire change for Matt Crafton down to Adam Alexander.
The word for Johnny Benson, loosen me up. Trip Bruce, the crew chief, called for 4 tires. That's not the case for Ron Hornaday. It's right side tires only for the 33, and he is already gone, leaving the pit lane first.
They're 3 wide coming off pit road there.
I was saying a minute ago, Phil, we needed this caution. There was so much going on. Hornaday had caught Benson back and passed Johnny Benson, but he did it after the caution flew, and then Sprague crashes and Bush's neck down. I mean, I was getting confused.
There are a lot of things going on. Ron Hornaday, we want to take a look back at that. You said almost crashed into the back of the 23 of Johnny Benson.
See Travis Kittles in the 08. Johnny slows down right there. You see, Ron has such a head of steam. The caution may very well have been out. I think they make a slight bit of contact, but Ron did a great job avoiding that 23 totally. He could have really hit him hard and done a lot of damage.
And then a lap before that, Benson was leading. I mean, it just switched all back and forth real quick there.
Less than 23 laps remain from Atlanta. We're expecting another fantastic finish from this speedway.
I changed my oil. Why worry about engine sludge?
You can't see sludge coming, but it can rob gas mileage and hold your car back.
Yeah, right.
Castrol GTX has a powerful formula to stop sludge in its tracks.
Give me a burger, fries.
GTX's unique dispersants neutralize sludge for superior protection among leading 5W and 10W 30s.
And some extra napkins.
Castrol GTX. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Honda EU Series generators are perfect for hardcore tailgaters. They provide reliable power for all sorts of things, and they're incredibly quiet. I got this one. Which neighbors really appreciate. Honda generators.
Bring it.
Hi, I'm Keith Hernandez.
And I'm Walt Clyde Frazier.
What a marvelous night for the action.
Let's go to the play-by-play.
Oh, there's Mr. Graybeard approaching Miss Hottie. Oh, no.
Rejected.
Clyde, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, no play for Mr. Gray. Get that man our Just for Men brush-in color gel.
It's specially formulated to penetrate coarse facial hair and gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes.
Home run. Another win with Just for Men.
Don't forget to watch Wind Tunnel with Dave Desmain tomorrow on Speed. He'll be talking with defending Nextel Cup champion Jimmy Johnson about his charge for title number 2. Can Jimmy's momentum put an end to Jeff Gordon's drive for number 5? Plus, World of Outlaws Late Model Series leader Steve Francis will drop by. That's tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, live on Speed.
1 lap to go before the restart. We're going to have 20 laps of racing once we go back to green. And we've got a lot of stories. We've got Ron Hornaday with the lead with only 2 tires. We know there are some 4 tires, I think, back towards the back of the pack, but it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here these last 20 laps.
Now, is that strategy for Ron Hornaday? Do you think they saw what Mark Martin was doing on 2 tires and said, you know what, I think we can be competitive?
I want 4 if I got them.
Let's take a look at our Just for Men moment, the stay in the game Just for Men moment. How about Kyle Busch? Doing all he can to stay in the game.
He's running 180 miles an hour, one-handed, because he's having to hold the winner net up. He held it up long enough that by the time NASCAR flagged him, he was able to get to pit road by virtue of that caution flag, and he's right in contention.
Unbelievable.
Plus, he had to get to the corner thinking about trying to put a net up and make a turn. One-handed.
One-handed.
Stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. Green flag comes back out in front of the field. Ron Hornaday. Right behind him, Joey Clanton. That is Atlanta, Georgia native Joey Clanton looking for his first win.
And we've got Rick Crawford. Here comes Johnny Benson on the outside. Going to try to get by Rick Crawford.
2 and 3 wide as they go through turns 2.
Play by 1.
And I don't know about these 2 tires for Hornaday. I think he's going to be a sitting duck, Phil.
Yeah, I do too, especially if Johnny Benson, that 23 truck, if he got 4 tires. See Mark Martin, there comes Kyle Busch on the outside.
Right around the top of Mark Martin. It's taken Mark's truck 4 or 5 laps to get going. He's really fast, but he loses a lot of ground for the first couple of laps.
Even with 4 tires on our most recent pit stop, he lost some ground at the very start.
19 laps of racing to go. Ron Hornaday in front of Joey Clinton, Johnny Benson, Mark Martin, and Kyle Busch.
Johnny's going to move to the inside of that 09.
How about throwing Joey Clinton's name in the mix of all of those guys? How nervous would you be there?
Well, he's got 2 tires, and he's hanging on wonderfully right now. Kyle Busch drives the inside of him, though. Moves into that 3rd spot. Look at these guys.
Battling all over the racetrack. See Travis Kvapil, top 09, right in the middle of that battle. Matt Crafton, they're going to go 3 wide, getting in 1.
Matt Crafton going down on the low side now as he gets to the inside of that one of Brandon Witt.
Skinner was fortunate enough to clear that big group just a lap ago, Phil, and it was tense as he got through. Matt clearing him now.
Crafton looking back on Brandon Witt in that number 1, and Travis Kvapil down on the low side of the racetrack.
Travis is going to bring the 30 of Todd Bodine with him. Todd cannot keep that truck down on the bottom. He's slid up the racetrack, lost a little bit of momentum. Here comes Chad McCumbee on the very inside in that 8 truck.
2 and 3 wide all over the racetrack. Ron Hornaday now trying to hold off Johnny Benson and Kyle Busch. Here they go, right on his back bumper.
Watch what Kyle Busch can do with 2 hands.
And 4 fresh tires.
That might help too. Yeah.
Skinner would rather have 4 tires than 2 hands right now, I believe.
Johnny Benson holding off that 51 of Kyle Busch.
Still there.
See if Kyle's able to make the pass on the inside. Johnny's going to hang tough on the outside. Hornaday continues to lead.
And Hornaday's loving these 2 guys battling side by side right now while their tires are fresh. That means he can take his older tires, have the track all to himself, and maintain at least, Phil.
Mark Martin's going to join this battle too. He's just out of our camera view right there. He's going to pull into it right there. That's Mark in the 4th position as Kyle goes back to the inside.
Another thing we need to look at, we have not had a Cup regular win a truck race all year long, and now we've got 2 of them battling up here in the top 4.
We have still a truck regular right now leading this race, and another truck regular just pulled back into the 2nd position.
I just like Mark Martin right now, Phil. If this thing stays green, his truck's been really impressive on the long run, and he is right there in the battle for the lead. No ground to make up. He just has to pass these guys.
Look at Kyle. He gets a little bit loose off of 4. Does not get out of the throttle. They're dead even at the start-finish line.
Hornaday still running that low line through 3 and 4. We're seeing smoke out of the 8 of Chad McCumbee. We have yet to see a caution flag, though. We'll see if McCumbee will make it back onto pit road. Black flag had come out for Chad McCumbee.
How Atlanta-esque is this? I mean, here we are with 15 to go. 4 trucks battling for the top spot, and I don't know who to give the advantage to right now. Hornaday's on 2 tires, but they can't do anything with him.
Can't do anything with him. Johnny actually lost a little ground. It's going to allow Kyle a little bit of momentum. He's going to try to drive by the inside.
Kyle Busch ran the high side through 3 and 4. He had the momentum as they came out into the tri-oval, and now Kyle Busch fighting on the inside. Johnny Benson fights right back and takes 2nd away.
Not able to keep the momentum on the bottom of the racetrack. Johnny now is looking at the inside of Hornaday.
Benson with a good run through 1 and 2, got a lot of momentum built up and stayed down low as he follows Hornaday. Now they move 3 separate lines through 3 and 4.
Remember last week at Martinsville when Hornaday just wheeled his way past trucks to maintain or to cut that point, keep that point lead from dropping? Oh, got a yellow flag.
Caution has come out. 12 laps of racing to go. We're hearing that there might be some oil on the racetrack. The 8 of Chad McCumbee was smoking.
And the reason why I say that, Rick, Mike Skinner's done the same thing. He was marred back in 13th when this restart happened. He's all the way up to the 6th spot, battling Joey Clanton for that 5th spot, and he might well be one of the fastest trucks on the track right now.
Yeah, he may join this battle for the lead up here.
We just need to get this oil cleaned up and give these guys 8 or 10 laps to battle for this win. Mark Martin did not want to see that caution because he's got such a good truck on the long run.
Now, as far as points go, as bonus points go, Kyle Busch is going to lead the most laps, so he will get that designation. Well, unless Ron Hornaday continues to stay in front of this field all the way to the end, and then they could end up tying as far as the most laps led. Both Skinner and Hornaday have led laps. That's 5 bonus points apiece. 24 points separate them with just 10 laps to go.
The dream is still alive. Someday it will come true. And this country, it belongs
Backing America's truck for 90 years. You back it with the best coverage in America. Chevy Silverado. This is our truck.
DW, you're going to love the changes that David and I have made to the Aaron's Dream Machine. Comfortable reclining seat, onboard computer, awesome sound system.
It's a rolling Aaron's store.
The Aaron's car of tomorrow.
If you want brand new name brand furniture, electronics, appliances, and computers all in one place and with no credit checks, shop Aaron's.
Hey, Mikey, where do you want these?
In the car, of course.
You know, Mikey, I'm starting to like this car.
Do the math. Nobody beats Aaron's.
I'm on it. Clear.
Zaxby's, proud sponsor of the 09 truck and the Craftsman Truck Series.
Go, now. Get that can in there. Dog on the grill. Clear!
Wow. Zaxby's, proud sponsor of the 09 truck and the Craftsman Truck Series.
What makes the world's perfect beer? Start with the choicest hops and the best barley malt. Then Beechwood age it for that crisp, clean taste. Finally, throw in a football and 60,000 friends. The taste that makes it game day. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager.
Sunday night.
What's on your mind, my friend?
Go ride with Dave.
What is this kid thinking?
Give him a piece of your mind.
I am pissed.
Tell us how you really feel.
Only one voice matters. Yours.
Best damn racing show, period.
Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. Sunday night, 9 Eastern. Only on Speed.
Final time onto the back straightaway. They are side by side into turn 3.
This is going to be close. Here they come off turn number 4. Coming at him, turn number 4, side by side. Here they come there. Quad oval. It's Bobby Hamilton, Mark Skinner, and Bobby Hamilton will win the Easy Care 200.
Wow, what a finish.
They're side by side coming at him, turn number 4. On the high side, Bobby Labonte. They hit again. It's Bobby Labonte and Ron Hornaday goes across the start finish line just inches in front of Bobby Labonte.
How could this race have been better than last year? And I think it was.
Here comes Jack Sprague up high, and here comes Johnny Benson. Benson's going to slide out of four. Sprague's going to slide out of 4, and Kyle Busch is going to win this race.
What amazing finishes we've had here at Atlanta.
We've seen great finishes in the past. This one has all the ingredients for another spectacular ending at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Adam Alexander, what's going on with Hornaday?
Well, if he doesn't win this race today, everyone's going to talk about the 2-tire call late, but Rick Wren told him I didn't have any better left side tires than what were on the truck, so I thought we would play track position. He needs to hold them off for less than 2 laps, and one of the guys for less than 10 laps, and the guy that is chasing him on the track will be Johnny Benson. He came on the radio and said, those guys are trying to get me in turn number 3. I know what they're doing. I will be able to hold them off now. And Kyle Busch, who restarted 6th after having issues prior to that last pit stop with the window net, said it's vibrating once again. We'll have to keep our eye on the 51. Tony?
Mike Skinner says he has a better truck than Joey Clanton, but that the 09 races him just too hard. He's asked for help from the spotter. The spotter said, we'll give you the bottom. But Clanton's trying to win this race as well, and if he does, free chicken tenders at his Zaxby restaurants.
Really?
I think we should go.
I don't know who to pick here. You've got Mike Skinner right there. He's running 6th. He's probably got as good a truck as he's had this entire race.
Pick it quick, because the green flag is about to come out.
I like Mark Martin about 30 laps ago, but now I think I like Johnny Benson.
Green flag in the air, 8 laps of racing to go from Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Skinner jumps to the inside. He's side by side with a 09. He gets that spot. Skinner's up to 5th.
He's driven just as hard this week as he did last week. Last week he had a truck he was leading with. This week he's had a truck he has to race from 13th to the top 5, late in the going with. What a great job by Skinner.
Look at Kyle Busch on the outside.
Kyle Busch, he goes to the outside of Johnny Benson, takes 2nd away, now to the outside of Ron Hornaday, taking over the lead as they cross the start-finish line.
What a great move by Kyle Busch. Remember, Ron Hornaday has to think about that point championship. Kyle Busch has nothing to lose.
Kyle Busch running right through the middle of turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, he puts 3 truck links between himself and Ron Hornaday.
Johnny Benson's going to try to battle that 33 truck for the second position. Not able to do it. Johnny just loses a friend into that truck in the center of the corner. It looks like every corner.
This time when they cross the start-finish line, it is Kyle Busch in front of Ron Hornaday. And what has that happened? What has that done to the points? 4 points now separate Hornaday and Skinner as they run on the racetrack.
Okay, this thing isn't over. Mark Martin looks to the inside of JB, not able to do it that time.
They better get something done in a hurry or Kyle Busch is going to drive off and leave them. The just for men stay in the game moment, holding the window net up. Could he parlay that into a victory here at Atlanta?
He's led the most laps. Oh, problems for Todd Bodine. Bodine gets sideways. Looks as though he may have a right rear tire down as he's trying to hang on to that truck.
He does make it to pit road. No caution flag.
Caution still not coming out, so they're staying green. Kyle Busch staying in the gas as they go down the backstretch.
What an incredible performance by Kyle Busch.
We've gone 21 races with Cup drivers running in most of the races. They have not been able to find victory lane. We see Todd Bodine, how loose he got there.
That right rear tire went flat with him, Rick, and he did a great job of hanging onto that truck.
That was a great save.
Was able to make it onto pit road. Under 4 laps of racing to go. Here comes Mark Martin to look to the inside of Johnny Benson.
Not able to do anything yet. Ron Hornaday has opened up a few truck links on that 3rd place truck of Johnny Benson. Mike Skinner not able to close on that 4th place truck of Mark Martin.
Kyle Busch looking very strong as he comes out of turn number 4. This time when they cross the start finish line. 4.5 miles, 3 laps to go from Atlanta.
Mark Martin's desperately trying to do away with Johnny Benson. Just can't get it done. Gets all the way beside him in the center of the corner field, but the momentum on the high side, Johnny's able to drive right back around.
Mark did it again, not able to do anything. If he could just keep a fender up beside him, then he may be able to race him down to the next corner and not let Johnny have the bottom.
Johnny Benson ducking down low once again. Mark Martin following in his tracks.
It's like the lead's tightening up a little bit off turn 4. Hornaday ran a faster lap that time by then did Kyle Busch, but will it be enough?
0.8 of a second separated Kyle Busch and Ron Hornaday when they went across the start-finish line. Almost side by side as Mark Martin and Johnny Benson.
And Skinner's looking at that battle right there, licking his chops, saying, please get side by side. Let me get those 10 points off you guys.
We could have the exact same situation as last week. Hornaday passed a couple trucks in the last 2 or 3 laps. If Mike Skinner can get by those 2 trucks, that would be 10 more points.
He would regain the lead. Right now, he's 4 points down behind Hornaday, and the white flag has come out. The final lap here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Kyle Busch in front of the 33 of Ron Hornaday.
Johnny Benson continues to run in 3rd. Mark Martin 4th, and Mike Skinner 5th.
This is a great performance by Mike Skinner. He didn't have the truck he wanted all day long, but he was able to maximize the effort.
Coming out of turns 3 and 4, it is Kyle Busch looking at the checkered flag.
That's right, Rowdy is back, baby.
Rowdy Busch, Kyle Busch winning it at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
What a great performance by Kyle Busch and Richie Waters, that entire team. Terrific job there. Parlayed a little good fortune by catching a caution flag to get that window net back up, and Kyle Busch drove the wheels off that thing.
Unbelievable for Kyle Busch to even be able to stay out on the racetrack when his window net had come down and he was holding it up. That winning crew chief standing by with Tony Rizzuti.
Richie Waters, you've had a fast truck all weekend long, but I got to tell you, buddy, you must have a horseshoe hidden somewhere because that caution came out at the right time that led to this victory.
Yeah, everything worked out perfect. I mean, they're bringing us in for the window net coming down, and lucky we got the caution at the same time. So Rowdy did an awesome job today, and Red Top Auto Auctions, thank them for coming along, and Billy Blue Motorsport for everything that Billy does. Rowdy's just one heck of a race car driver, and I just love working with him.
Richie Waters, the winning crew chief here at Atlanta. Rick?
Well, that's the 5th career win for Kyle Busch as he will celebrate in front of the grandstands here. Another win for Kyle Busch at Atlanta in the trucks. This is his 2nd now. He is the first repeat winner ever at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
And he had to do it in a inside the last 10 laps. A daring outside pass from third to first in less than a lap.
But the secret is him holding that window up long enough before NASCAR saw that. And NASCAR probably saw our pictures on video and decided to black flag him. Then the caution came out when Jack Sprague made contact with the inside wall, and it allowed them to come down pit road under the caution, and there he is, and with a checker flag.
Well, by the way, as this race was going on and Kyle Busch was winning, the points lead changed once again.
5 races in a row.
5 in a row. Now Ron Hornaday back in front of Mike Skinner. Now just 4 points separate those two. Mike Skinner with an impressive run today, coming back from falling back behind. He was in a 5th place finish. Ron Hornaday finishes 2nd.
What a great effort by Skinner to close that deficit.
Chevy congratulates Kyle Busch in the number 51 Chevy Silverado on today's big one. No truck has dominated the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series like the Chevy Silverado. Chevy, the winningest name in racing, an American revolution. Our Fast and All Fast finish, Kyle Busch, the first Cup regular to win in the Truck Series in 2007. Ron Hornaday, Mike Skinner, top 5 finishes again.
Here's some radical thinking. If you want it, go get it. Like the Craftsman Locking Flex Ratcheting Wrench Set. For fast work in tight spots, nothing's better. Or how about the Craftsman Cross Force Combination Wrench Set? The handle is turned 90 degrees for comfort. And to put everything in its place, try the Craftsman Quiet Glide Storage Chest. Drawers open smooth and easy. Innovation from Craftsman. Official tools of NASCAR. Get it at Sears.
Hear that? It's the sound of thousands of fans getting ready for Arizona's biggest sporting event. People immersed in an entertainment paradise. It's the sound of the playoffs, NASCAR style. The semifinal race in the chase for the NASCAR Nextel Cup. It's also the sound of time running out for tickets to one of the season's biggest race weekends. The Checker Auto Parts 500 at Phoenix International Raceway. Call 866-408-RACE or visit racetickets.com.
Let's face it, everybody needs money. Well, if you have a lawsuit and need money, you don't have to wait for your case to settle. Law Cash can advance you money now against your lawsuit. There are no upfront payments, no monthly payments, and if you lose your case, you owe Law Cash nothing. If you're receiving payments over time from a structured settlement, annuity, lottery, or jackpot winnings, Law Cash could also get you a lump sum now. You or your attorney should call Law Cash now. It's your money. Get it now.
Hi, I'm Keith Hernandez.
And I'm Walt Clyde Frazier.
What a marvelous night for the action.
Let's go to the play-by-play.
Oh, there's Mr. Graybeard approaching Miss Hottie. Oh, no.
Rejected.
Clyde, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, no play for Mr. Gray. Get that man our Just for Men brush-in color gel.
It's specially formulated to penetrate coarse facial hair and gets rid of gray in 5 easy minutes.
Home run. Another win with Just for Men.
A fitting finish for Atlanta truck owner Billy Ballou, seeing his truck driven by Kyle Busch in Victory Lane. Let's go down to Victory Lane now.
And for the first time in 2007 and the 5th in his career, Kyle Busch, a Truck Series winner. And today he does it, as you said, Rick, on Billy Ballou's home turf here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. First off, let's feel this left arm. Quite a workout there holding that window net in. Tell us about that for 12 laps.
Yeah, that was an experience. I've never had to do that before, but you know, glad I can just work with these guys and Billy Ballou Motorsports. You know, we do about the most here with the least, so you know, pretty proud of all these guys on his team, Richie Waters and, you know, Dennis Schoenfeld, everybody that helps us out here, Greg and JR and all the guys that want a shot, but you know, we're here working together trying to make it happen.
And was it vibrating again there at the end?
It was a little bit, yeah. I'd reach up every straightaway and put it back because it was wanting to vibrate loose, but yeah, it's just a product of racing. You've always got something going on, but you know, I want to thank Red Top Auto Auction, Flanders Beef Patties. They're not on with us this week, but you know, they deserved to win earlier this year, a couple of them actually, and we missed out, but glad we were able to do it here in Billy Ballou country here in Atlanta.
Congratulations.
All right, thanks.
Kyle Busch, a winner here in 2007 at Atlanta. Tony?
Ron Hornaday led 51 laps here this afternoon, and Ron, it looked like in the end it was those 4 tires that Kyle Busch had over your 2 tires that made the difference.
It doesn't matter. We finished second. We had a good truck. Anytime you can come to a racetrack like this, sit on the pole, and run second to a guy like that, I got to thank all my guys, Camping World, RVs.com, Chevrolet, Kevin Delana Harvick. I mean, this is awesome. This is what racing's all about. This is fun. And, you know, I hated this racetrack, and I learned how to drive it when the tires wore out. And I'll tell you what, you got to have a truck like this, what Rick Rinn gives you, and everybody have a KHI. I mean, this is a lot of fun to race.
And you guys flip-flop the lead again. You now take the lead by 4 points.
If that's all right after Homestead, I'll be fine. But right now, you don't jump up and down. I mean, sure, Skinner will get it back next week, and I'll try to get it back the following week. But this is what NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series racing's all about, is having fun. And Mike pitting that way and only putting 2 on and coming back up from the back and finish top 5.
And you can see the smile on Ron Hornaday's face. He had a fun time today, finishing second.
Take a look at those 4-point standings that we talked about. 4 points separating Hornaday and Skinner. How about the camaraderie between the two right now?
Yeah, very, very impressed with the job Mike Skinner did coming back up into the top 5.
Travis Kvapil, third in the points, 320 back. It is a 2-man battle for the 2007 championship.
Oh yeah, this is what you